Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available October 2nd, 2027 and a half BC, the album. Dad, shimmy, shimmy. Rock on, gold dust woman. Beast. Happy October 1st. You know, Stevie Nicks is so witchy, isn't she? I just love Stevie Nicks so much. Yesterday on my video, I did the lip gloss and the lip balm and everything like that. And it is still like coating on my lips. I don't know if it's my beard or what it is. So I'm like, you know what? We're just going to have to go to my all-time favorite lip balm, the Sol de Janeiro lip balm. So we're going to do that today. Then we know it's not going to get gloopy. Watch, I just said that. I can't see without my reading glasses, the camera. I can just kind of see that I'm like right here, but I can't see like my lips and stuff. And I said that and it'll be all gloopy. But anyway, happy October 1st. Yes, Stevie Nicks. Rock on, gold dust woman. Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't you love to love her? You know, Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac just kind of hit different in October, don't they? It's kind of a different vibe. So anyway, how are you guys doing today? I want to give a little bit of an update over here. Now, I've been talking about this extensively over my vlog, so if you want to know the ins and outs of the vet visits and everything that's going on with that, go over and check it out on my vlog. But a couple of people have reached out to me from this channel that don't watch my vlog, and they're like, what's going on with Lil Boo Radley? So, I said something about this, I think like in a community update, and people were like, I'm kind of confused as to what's going on and all this kind of stuff, where I said something about it on my vlog. Anyways, people are reaching out to me and they're like, I don't watch your vlog, so I don't really know what's going on. Oh, I know what it was. I mentioned it in my Peter Does Stuff channel last Thursday, my weight loss journey update. And people were like, what is going on with Lil Boo Radley? So before I get in this video, I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update. Boo Radley, our little dog, and the reason kind of why I'm doing this is because he's sleeping right next to me, but he gets up and he paces around the room, and then he gets back in his bed and stuff like that. So you might see that throughout this video. He is doing fantastic today. I mean, we are so much further along than we were a week ago. But for those of you that don't know, a couple weeks ago, we were really worried about Boo Radley. He was kind of like struggling with some pain, and we weren't really sure what was going on, and we were going to the vet, and we were talking to the vet. It was like a lot. And so last Monday, a week ago last night, he had a seizure in the middle of the night. And so we took him to the emergency vet, and then we consulted with our vet the next day. And anyway, it was just a lot. And then Wednesday night, he had what is called cluster seizures. And so we went to the vet the next day. We were very, very worried. In all honesty, Little Boo Radley. So what happened was he was doing great. And then like the day of his 15th birthday, it just kind of like he progressively like started going downhill. So we didn't know what was going on. And honestly, last Thursday when we went to the vet, I had like ran out of hope. We have been in contact with her a lot. We have a fantastic vet, and we have been in contact with her, and she's in contact with her colleagues and stuff like that. And so, you know, she's been really, really super helpful, and everybody that works in that office has been really, really helpful. But I just didn't have a lot of hope last Thursday. In all honesty, I thought we're gonna have to make some tough decisions. But she started Boo Radley on so he was already on a medication for having arthritis, and so she upped that medication, and then she put him on a medication for seizures. And so he is now, that was Thursday, that was the first day with seizure medication. So we're Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're 5 days out with no seizures. I've had so many people that have reached out to me that have gone through a similar situation. And so many people have told me, we have people in our life that we know that have dogs with seizures that are like, okay. And our vet has also told us that it takes about 2 to 6 weeks for the dog to kind of get used to being on the medication and things like that. Crazy enough, Little Boo Radley and I are both on the same kind of seizure medication, which seems surreal. But anyway, so it takes about 2 to 6 weeks for them to kind of get back to themselves. But the last couple nights, he's been like running around at night. His like tail has been up when it was down, and he was like manically pacing. Like for like literally one night, he paced for I think it was like 10 or 12 hours. He just paced, and he kind of seemed like he was on a mission when he would pace. he doesn't really do that anymore. He'll pace. He walks around, but I don't even know that I would refer to it as pacing anymore. He kind of just walks around. He sniffs stuff. He comes over to Alex and I, and we like scratch under his chin, and then, you know, like he'll let us hold him for a while, and then he like walks a little bit again, and then he kind of settles down and he goes to sleep for a couple hours, and he gets up and he does some walking and stuff like that. But he's doing great, and I mean, we were really worried last week. I mean, his quality of life did not seem great, and from last Thursday to today, it is greatly improved. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know that I put some things out there, and a couple people reached out to me and was like, I don't watch your vlog, so I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm worried about Boo, and I just want to say I really appreciate that. We've gotten so much support from the people that watch my videos, and so much kindness from people that do know what's going on, that have been watching my vlogs and stuff like that, and I just want to say I really, really appreciate it. There are so many people that have reached out to me that have shared similar stories, that have just been like so vulnerable and sharing what they went through with their dogs and their cats and things like that. And I just really, really appreciate it. You know, when I started on YouTube over 8 years ago, that kind of camaraderie is not something that I ever expected to find from just posting videos online. That people would reach out to me and share stories and say, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And then we run those things by our vet and whatever. And I just want to say I really, really appreciate it. All of our dogs have been a big part of my videos through the years, starting with, you know, Pee Pee the Flying Chihuahua, and then Tucker, and then now Boo Radley. And so it's been a really tough 2 weeks. I mean, we really thought we were kind of at the end. And so for Alex and I mean, Boo Radley's the last of the three. And so it kind of seemed like it was the end of an era. But he's holding in there and he's doing great. And so for those people that don't watch my vlog, I just didn't want anybody to worry. I wanted people to know. It's why, like, the other day when I didn't post videos, and I put up community tab things, and I put up stuff on my Instagram because I didn't want anybody to worry about what was going on, because I know that there's a lot of you out there that are very invested in, you know, my life and what goes on with me, and I appreciate that. That means so much to me. I mean, everything that I've ever gone through in my life that then I've later shared online or whatever, you guys have, so many of you have really been so supportive and so kind, and I just want to say I really, really appreciate that. And so I wanted to share what's going on, because this is a huge part of our life right now, and so I just wanted to share that with you. And honestly, like, I took several days off from making videos. And it was kind of, to be honest with you, nice to just not do anything but watch TV. I did film my vlogs. I filmed like almost like 2-hour vlogs over my vlog channel every day. But on my other channel since Thursday, I didn't film anything until yesterday. And it felt nice to have some time off, but at the same time, it felt so bizarre. It felt so weird, you know, like, it just was like, I don't know, this is kind of my escape. And, you know, it was like my way to kind of like get out of something, you know, like in my head for a couple moments to film videos. And so it felt weird to do that. To not be able to do that. And this is always, you guys have offered that for me. I mean, so many people reach out to me and they say, you know, Peter, I'm going through this, or I'm going through a breakup, or I'm going through these medical procedures or whatever, and you've like helped me get through this. I literally get emails and DMs like that every single day. I don't think sometimes you guys realize how reciprocal it is just by you guys watching my videos, how much you give me that I am allowed to then make videos that make me laugh or take me out of something for a couple days. My husband even was like, you know, it might be good for you to like get back to that. So yesterday I started filming videos, and it did. It was really good for me to not have to be in my head worrying about this 24 hours a day. And so I want to say thank you. Okay, so that was a little update that I wanted to give you guys. I did want to talk today about Raw Beauty Kristi. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, by the way, I started watching Dark Winds. It was on AMC. It's an AMC show, but now it's on Netflix, the first 2 seasons, and I think it's coming out the 3rd season. So it's two seasons and 6 episodes each season. I started watching it last night, and I binge watched the first 4 episodes. I could have stayed up and watched the whole first season. It is so good. If you guys are looking for a binge-worthy, like, mystery show, it's a detective show. It kind of reminds me of True Detective a little bit. It's called Dark Winds, and it's on Netflix or AMC, and it is fantastic. And I think the 3rd season is coming out soon. But today, on my Peter Watches TV channel, this is something new that I'm going to be doing over there every month. So I go into, like, several different magazines, several different articles and stuff before each month, and I look up, like, all the new true crime shows that are coming out, all the limited series that are coming out on, like, Netflix, Apple, Peacock, Paramount, whatever, Shudder. I've got them all. I've got all the streaming apps. Disney. And then I make a list of all the shows that I want to watch for the next month. And so I keep a list of my weekly TV shows that I watch. I know it's insane. I love TV. It's kind of my little escape other than listening to audiobooks and making videos. And so I keep a list of all the weekly TV shows I'm watching. I also keep a list every year of every watched TV show that I've finished, and I keep a list of all the true crime shows I've ever watched. So I always compile this list, and so I was thinking about this because somebody said, where do you find these articles online of what shows are coming out, like compiled together? So I thought, I think I'm going to do that over my Peter Watches TV channel. I'm having such a blast on that channel. I'm like watching a show and then like turning around the next day and doing a reaction to it. In fact, I'm watching so many shows and doing reactions to it that I have like 20 videos of shows that I watched like 2 months ago that I still haven't filmed yet because I'll watch a show and then I'll have to react to it the next day. But today, I'm going to do my most anticipated shows and true crime for October of 2024. So if you guys want, I think I have like 14 or 15, I think it's maybe now down to like 18 shows or something like that I'm anticipating for October. October has a lot of really, really good shows that are coming out. I know I talk a lot about TV on all my shows. I love TV shows. I grew up on TV shows. I love movies as well. On my Peter Does Stuff channel, I'm also going to be doing a movie watch-a-thon. Last year we did Halloween and Friday the 13th. This year I think I have picked the franchise that we're going to do. It has a lot of movies in it, but I've never watched all the movies, so I'm real excited about that. So if you don't watch my Peter Does Stuff channel, sometime this week, I will be announcing that watch-along for a spooky, scary movie watch-along. So anyway, it's just where you watch it on your own, and then we talk about it. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about Raw Beauty Kristi, and this is probably going to be a little bit of a different video than I have done the last couple times that I've covered Raw Beauty Kristi. I'm going to mention some of the things I've talked about in the past with Raw Beauty Kristi, but this probably won't be as snarky and sarcastic as the past couple videos that I've done about Raw Beauty Kristi. So if you're coming to this video because you're wanting me to drag her, okay, that's probably not going to be the video that you're going to get today. Now, I will say this, I have been accused greatly of demanding things from Kristi, which is, there's no truth to that whatsoever. I've never demanded anything from Kristi. Whatever, I mean, she reached out to me and asked me for some advice. I'm going to give my response to what I think is going on with Kristi right now, and I'm going to share what I would do if I were in Kristi's shoes, okay? Now, I'm fully aware that Kristi does not need my advice, okay, because I know people will say that. And people will comment on that even though I just said that. I'm fully aware that Kristi has a lot more subscribers than I am, so she obviously is doing something right. I'm fully aware of that, okay? I just think that Kristi seems rather stuck right now, and kind of lost. And this is actually something that I've known and I've noticed in Kristi when she's gone through previous scandals in her life before, where she didn't really know what to do with things. And in fact, after Kristi started talking a lot about being a mother and things like that, she was getting a lot of criticism for that. A lot of people were like, I didn't sign up for this, I signed up for the makeup. And she kind of slowed down her posting a lot then, and you could kind of tell that Kristi didn't even really know what to do. And she kind of even said that in a few videos. She was like, I didn't really know what to do. It's interesting because yesterday, if you didn't watch my video from yesterday, in my video yesterday, I sang the drama opera that I created in 2016, stupid song. And it's like Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, Manny MUA, Nikki Tutorials. But anyway, at one point, I added Raw Beauty Kristi because I was such a huge fan of Raw Beauty Kristi. And I think that's the thing that people sometimes kind of forget about my coverage, is that I was a huge fan of Kristi. And it's not just that I loved her coverage of makeup. Like, I just loved listening to her opinions about things and that she could back them up and stuff like that. I also loved, I think that when Kristi and I talked on the phone, she had just drawn these pictures and was putting together this birthday party for her friend, and she had posted on Instagram, and I said, Kristi, I love, like, your artistry of putting, it was like, I think it was, what's that? Oh, shoot, they made it into a movie, that cartoon, that book, that Where the Wild Things Are. I think it was Where the Wild Things Are, and she had all these big creatures that she had drawn and cut out. And I said, Kristi, it's fantastic. I love that stuff. Like, that, I love that stuff of her, right? It's just the fact that she is unwilling to come out and address some of these things that, to me, are huge issues. I mean, we're not just talking about a rumor here or a rumor there. If it were that, it's whatever. It's let it go. They're pretty big things at this point. You know, the James Charles thing, we're now we're now a year out, more than a year out from Raw Beauty Kristi being, called out. And I think people think it was just me. Like, I think it started kind of with me because I talked about, I was the one that found it first. But then, there's been tons of TikToks made about it, articles written. There's been a lot of other people that have covered it than me. And Kristi's never, it's not like I'm on this sole mission to, do that. But like, the fact that she was supporting James Charles, that would have been a very simple, and this is the thing, is that I think Kristi gets nervous about coming out and addressing something because, and she even said that to me on the phone, she's like, I don't really know how to address it. And I said, Kristi, just talk to your audience, be honest about it, right? And I think, like, and that's the one thing that's interesting to me is that when anybody, and I'm not saying that you have to address every issue, okay? I don't even think that that's important. I don't expect that of other people, and I know that people better not expect that from me, okay? I'm talking about big, huge issues, all right? I'm not talking about somebody think that you did this, or somebody thinks you lied about that, or something. Listen, okay? I mean, if we would spend our time online, that would be all we would do if we were going to address all that. And I don't expect that from Kristi. I'm talking about big, huge scandals, okay? Well, I feel like she's had 2 big scandals, and one in the past 2 years, and one of them is her allegiance to James Charles, which we to this day don't know, does she or does she not? You know, the last time I talked to her on the phone, she told me when she met him, how she met him, that she didn't really know a lot of what the drama was going on, that I found out later that was a lie, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know why she just didn't come out and address it, unless she thought, and this is what I really do think, I think she thought if she came out and addressed it, she couldn't be authentic because she wasn't authentic with me on the phone. And so if she came out and she shared her story, I was going to turn around and I was going to make a video, and I was going to say, that's BS, Kristi, because now I found that you did know about these things. And I think she knew that I was going to do that. So I don't really know in retrospect why she did reach out to me. I don't know if it was a cover your ass kind of moment. It seemed very sincere in the moment that she was reaching out to me. I don't know. I think it would have been a very easy thing to come out and say, I did follow James Charles, you know? Like, a while ago, people found out that I was following James Charles on TikTok. I didn't even know, you know? Somebody found out that I had, like, pinned one of his comments that he left on my video, like, 5 years ago. I unfollowed everybody off of TikTok. It was real simple. This is where it's real simple to address these things. I literally turned around in a video the next day and said it was brought to my attention that I'm still following James Charles on TikTok. So to solve that problem, I unfollowed everybody on TikTok. I don't follow one person on TikTok this day. I don't care. I don't even go over to TikTok unless I'm looking for receipts or somebody sends me something about a rescue dog or squirrel, you know? And then I blocked him on this channel so that he can't leave a comment on my video again. And I said that. It's very easy to address these things, you know? Did I follow James Charles at one point? Sure, I did. I'm sure I did. Knowingly, I probably chose to follow him. Did I pin that comment? Oh, 100% knowingly, you know? But my opinion has changed about James Charles greatly over the years. Was I aware that that pinned comment was up? Absolutely not. When it was brought to my attention, I dealt with it. I think it's very easy to deal with these things, and it makes sense, you know? It makes a lot of sense to address these things. And I think that it would have been very easy for her to come out and do this. I think it was a moment in time where, and I think she knows this, Kristi's a smart woman. I think she knows that had she done it at that time, it probably would have solved a lot of problems for her. She could have just come out and said, listen, okay, I met James at this conference or whatever, this makeup conference. He was very nice. We had a few interchanges together, you know, whatever. It wasn't really like, she told me they didn't have a great friendship or anything like that. She just followed him like somebody else in her industry. I understand that, you know. It wasn't like I ever thought that she was like greatest friends with him and stuff like that. It would have been very easy for her to address, but she chose not to. Okay, well, that was her business. That's her choice. You know, people say you don't have to address anything. Hey, listen, she doesn't. She doesn't have to. That's not the purpose of this video today. The purpose of this video is talking about what she should do now, because she's kind of screwed herself a little bit. And so then what happens is around 4th of July this year, these allegations come out that, her son is in this parade with these kids, and they've got these t-shirts on that are aligned with this organization that's anti-LGBT. And then myself and a lot of other people, I mean, I think there were probably, when I looked, like 20 or 30 YouTube videos that were made about it, tons of TikToks. TikToks that got, I mean, hundreds of thousands of views on it. A lot more, you know, views than my little measly videos ever got over here. I mean, they got tons and tons of views, right? The TikToks. And it was talked again about, I mean, there were articles written. I read them in my videos that were written about Robbie Kristi and her alignment with that, and that, you know, was she, like, she'd said that she was moving her sister on the property and that they were going to host a school, and then it came out that the school was moving and their property, you know, so everybody kind of picked up the pieces together and put it together that she was going to put the school out there. She's never addressed it. So these are 2 huge scandals within a year that she has not addressed. And one is where she's aligned herself with a predator and never come out and addressed it. And the other one is where she seems to have ideological belief systems that are anti-LGBT. Now, the other thing that's interesting to me is that I continue to get, and I mean, I could probably make a video about Robbie Kristi every single day, but I just don't care that enough to beat a dead horse. But people send me all the time screenshots where she's liking things. Like, this was the thing she said to me when I talked to her on the phone. She was like, I didn't even know that I liked those pictures, okay? Well, if you knew that with James Charles, then you would think that you would be a little bit more conscious of the things that you're liking. People send me things all the time that she's liking that are extremely problematic. And I'm not talking about when it comes to, like, makeup, stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about she is liking posts of people that align themselves with anti-LGBT rhetoric. That seems to furthermore back up the story that she really does have this belief in this ideology. I think the problem that Kristi has always fought when dealing with these things is, and that's fine if she wants to believe that way. That's fine if Kristi, she made a big deal of how she hosted her, stepsister's wedding, on her property, and, that was marrying a woman, and that, they were going to, it was in September, and it's been kind of crickets about that wedding. She hasn't really said anything about that wedding. It's October 1st. I mean, maybe she'll post the footage of that. I don't know. I think it's probably kind of a private event, so they probably won't. But the fact that she didn't show anything about decorating, I mean, she kind of showed some things on her Instagram about it, but they didn't really do a lot or talk a lot about this big thing, and so that kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought she'd at least, I'm not expecting her to do a full video of the wedding. She doesn't need to do that. And I think that like, family's private, right? Like, I think it's such a weird vibe when I don't even follow any of these creators anymore. I don't follow any of these creators at all. Like, I don't follow any of the influencers or whatever. I don't follow Raw Beauty Kristi. I don't follow Manny, Laura, any of these people. And I have never followed any of their spouses, okay? None of them. And I mean, like, even when I cover Trisha, I didn't cover Moses or any of those people. And I sure as hell didn't follow their mother-in-laws or sister-in-laws or best friends. And that is so beyond to me. I think that is, when people want to talk about stalking, like, that is literally the definition of stalking. When you are following everybody in somebody's life, like, that is weird to me, right? But anyway, so I don't expect her, like, I think that everybody deserves to have their own amount of privacy. I don't expect her, and I don't think she even should, and her stepsister probably didn't want her to post, like, a video of the wedding or whatever. But it kind of surprised me that she didn't post, like, putting together some decorations. I mean, she wanted to vlog all of August, and she was talking about, like, some of the things that she was going to do and decorating for the wedding and stuff like that. So that kind of surprised me a little bit, and all honesty, that she didn't do that. And I was like, well, is she just throwing this out there? I mean, I'm not doubting that she had the wedding on her property, but I'm like, did she just throw this out there because it's like kind of her answer to, like, if I'm having this wedding on my property, this gay wedding, then I possibly can't be anti-LGBT. Except for that, after that video was posted on August 1st, when she talked about vlogging every day of August, of which she, I think, only vlogged like 10 days or something like that, which we'll get to in just a second. After she did that, there wasn't, like, a lot of follow-up about what was going to happen with that. And she continued, I mean, people literally sent me, I mean, I probably have 20 screenshots since she's made that video talking about the gay wedding on her property of her stepsister. I've probably gotten 20 screenshots from people that she's liked, very, like, posts, of problematic posts, of people that, like, really align themselves with anti-LGBT rhetoric. And this is what I think that Kristi has never known what to do. It's like her coming out now. Like, this is important, okay? Her coming out recently and talking about the Jaclyn Hill video and how she feels bad about the Jaclyn Hill video. This is where I think Kristi gets a lot into her head. And I understand that. I've been at that place before on YouTube, right? Where you're in your head and you don't know what to do. With the Jaclyn Hill thing, I think she has always kind of wanted to be approved by those people that are bigger than her in the makeup community, right? Like the Jaclyn Hills, the Jeffree Stars, whatever. The problem with that is, that's interesting to me, is that one of the things that I always respected about Kristi was she didn't seem like she was part of that group. Like, I wasn't the popular kid in school. And so I kind of related to the fact that Kristi didn't really care what she said and was going to say what she had to say and was going to stand by her opinion and her reviews of things and didn't really care that she was part of that group. But I think she really does care. I mean, if you go back and watch that microscope video, Jaclyn Cosmetics, she starts it off with very snarky comments to Jaclyn Hill and even says that she called her a bitch and stuff like that. But I think she's always kind of wanted approval from those people for some reason or not. Like, she's made it if she has approval from those people. And I get that. I understand that. I think we all to some degree seek validation and approval. At least maybe I have in my life. I can't speak for everybody else, but I have. So I understand that, right? I think as you get older, you kind of need it less. And so, I don't know, like, but there's been many years in my life that I relate to that sentiment of her, you know, possibly wanting approval from, you know, bigger people in her community and things like that. I get that. So I'm watching all of this go down, and she comes out with this Jaclyn Hill statement where she says that, like, she feels really bad about making that video. That was the last video that I talked about with Robbie D. Kristi, that she feels really bad about making this video. And I'm like, if you feel really bad about it, why don't you just take the video down? The video's still up there. Well, she doesn't want to take it down because it's one of her most viewed videos. People still go watch it on a regular basis and respond to it, and they still reference it. So she doesn't want to take that video down because it stands in time. But she feels so bad about it. Now, I have taken videos down that I feel really bad about. Highly viewed videos I've taken down. Not in a long time, but I have in my past. So if you feel so bad about it, I don't understand. But this is important, okay? Because she did this microscope video that really garnered her a lot of subscribers and a lot of views and really kind of put her on the map. But she now feels bad because she doesn't want to hurt Jaclyn Hill's feelings and things like that. Jaclyn that lied through that entire thing, which is what I did my last video talking about, right? So it's interesting to me that, like, she has very, like, you know, kind of like, opposite opinions about this situation. So to come out and talk about it, it's like, now she's finally coming out and talking about how she feels about the microscope video. It's the same thing with James Charles. It's like, I think she likes James Charles. I think even to some degree, she probably seeks James Charles' approval. I mean, she said to me on the phone, she thought he was nice when she met him, and her interactions with him were always really nice. Okay, that doesn't mean that he hasn't done horrible shit just because he was nice to you, right? And so I think it's like, she's like, well, he's a really nice guy, and I know he's done this horrible shit, but it would be really nice to get validation from him, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, I also think that Kristi really cares a lot about money. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing in business. I'm just saying that maybe at some point her ethics are a little bit lowered by if she can align herself with somebody that might be able to give her opportunities. In the past, I don't think she cares so much about that today. But then the anti-LGBT thing comes out. I really believe, because she's never addressed it, that Kristi really does believe this. I really do believe that she believes this. And every time that I get on video and I say this, people are like, okay, well, she has a right to raise her kid the way that she does. 100%. You're absolutely right. People's defense is, if she wants to feel this way, that she has every right to. 100%. And I 100% have every right as a gay man, as an out gay married man in this country that is very scared for my rights and very scared for my community. I have every right to not support somebody that stands on that side. Okay? But when they won't come out and address it, we have to assume with the information that's given to us. But she's never addressed it. Because I think she's afraid of splitting her audience. So now we have this situation, which is huge. Okay? A lot of people have unfollowed Robbie D. Kristi over this. We have the James Charles situation, and now the Jaclyn Hill situation. I think she mentioned it in a video, but I think she didn't realize it was going to really bring things back up again. It's where I felt one way years ago when it was garnering me a lot of views. But now I'm going to come out years later and say, I feel really bad. I wish I had never made the video. But I stand behind everything that I said in the video. Well, you stand behind calling them hairy lipsticks. You are the one that said that, Kristi. You called them hairy lipsticks in your video. You said in your most recent video, you said that you blamed it on the lab. You didn't blame it on Jaclyn. I went back and watched that video and took notes. You did not blame it on the lab. You lied straight to your audience in that most recent video. You did not blame it on the lab. You blamed it on Jaclyn Hill. You said that if you were Jaclyn Hill, you would have called up the lab and said, what the F is going on? That she should have known better. And there's Little Boo Radley making an appearance. Hi, Little Boo Radley. So, when I was watching all of this go down, I'm going to get him settled really quick, and I'll be right back, because I'm going to get into the rest of this video. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Took him out, got him a little treat. He's all settled now. Okay, so what happened was that I was going through. This was a couple days ago. It was while I wasn't making videos. And I was just like, I was thinking about making a video on Friday. And so I was like, I just want to do some lighthearted kind of like drama over here. Like, so I was looking through like everybody's Instagram. I was like Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, everybody, Shane Dawson, whatever. And there was just like, I mean, it was just nothing, right? So I go over to Robbie D. Kristi's, and I can actually tell you the day that I looked at this. It was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. 2:15 a.m. on Friday. And I saw that she posted this Instagram story. Now, I'm not going to include these in there. I'll just hold them up and hope that you can see them. But yeah, you can see them. She's like thinking to herself. And it says, feeling like the desire to do Halloween looks again. And then the next one is, and this is a story, but I tried to screenshot what she was saying. And she says on there something to the degree of, the only reason I feel like I can't is because each of those looks took me like 27 hours each. And then she posted one of her looks from back in the day, and it said, okay, if, and that's a big if, I do Halloween looks this year, what do you want to see? What look, character, creature would you want me to do? And then there's a picture of Jeffree Star sticking out his tongue. And I don't know why I kept that picture. But I saw that and I was like, this is really, really interesting because I think she even addresses the, I do want to say this one thing, actually, because I went and I looked at her Instagram today, and she is, actually, if you want to know what she's doing, she's making a bunch of homemade vanilla extract. Now, this is, I will say this, I've kind of poked fun at the gnome home and the homesteading and the living on, you know, out in this farm and all that, but I will tell you this right now, okay? As somebody that loves cozy mystery, sitting on my front porch talking to my neighbors, I relate to that, okay? I love that content from her if she weren't so problematic. I would really engage in that again. I just can't in my right mind until she wants to come out and address. To me, at this point, I don't even care if she addresses the James Charles situation. I want to know where Raw Beauty Kristi stands, and I want to hear her say it in a video with all these allegations that are out there. And this is just, I'm not demanding of her of this. I'm just telling you where I stand and how I make my decisions about things. Until she comes out and addresses on a video her stance on LGBT rights, with all these things that have come out, and she addresses the allegations, I'm not going to continue to follow her. I just can't. That's my personal choice. You have to make your personal choice. If you want to continue to follow her, I think you need to do with what you need to do for yourself. I'm just telling you that I can't continue to do that. So, and that's just my choice. And it kind of makes me sad because I really, really like Kristi a lot. We live in a time right now that I think that is very, very critical for who stands with us, who stands against us kind of thing. And I take that stuff very seriously. If Kristi called me up and said, I'd like to have a conversation with you about my stance, okay? I would have that conversation with her. I wouldn't give her any advice on how to cover it because I really do want to know how Kristi handles, how she stands in the situation, but I wouldn't tell her how to handle the situation. I wouldn't give her any advice on the phone, none of that kind of stuff. She can pay me if she wants that time. But I am interested in this because Kristi is somebody that I followed and I loved for a long time. It really, to be honest with you, it rather surprises me. So I would have the conversation with her, but I can tell you the first thing I'd say to her is, Kristi, if we're going to have this conversation, you're going to allow me to share what you share with me online. Because I think that your audience deserves to know that. And since you're not going to address it, then I'm going to share what you share with me online. That would be the only way that I would have that conversation with her. So, because I am interested in know. And she won't come out and address it. She hasn't yet. And I think she won't come out and address it because she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to do it. How do I address this situation and still save my audience that's paying my bills? Like, I think that's her fear, right? Now, I say that kind of like that, and it sounds kind of like very tongue-in-cheek, but you have to remember that to these YouTubers, this is their job. This is how they pay their bills. I totally understand that. This is my job. This is how I pay my bills, right? I think at some point you have to kind of like decide where you stand and what you're going to address and what you're not going to say and things like that. So I think she's in this moment with the Jaclyn Hill situation and then with the James Charles situation and now with this, that she's really worried if she comes out and she addresses it and she lies about it, that people are going to look and they're going to find different things where she's, you know, it doesn't match up. Or if she comes out and she's honest, she might piss a lot of people off, or people might not understand her, or they might not agree with her, whatever side she stands on. She might come out and say she's completely pro-LGBT and she believes in trans rights and she believes in marriage equality and all this kind of stuff, and she might lose half of her audience, right? That might be her fear. She might also be on the other side and say, I don't agree with those things, you know? And she might lose half of her audience. I think she's really worried about that. I think she's losing a lot of people anyway because people just don't know, and she's never come out and addressed it. And Kristi's somebody now that like kind of runs and hides. So when I saw this on here, I do want to say this though because I noticed this. So she did this sponsorship, or I think it's a sponsorship for mixed tiles. And I just want to say on here, Kristi absolutely 100% disclosed this appropriately, and right next to the hashtag for it, put hashtag ad. I mean, it is on black print the way that you're supposed to do it. It is hashtag before the link to the website. Now, she's got 4 of them in a row, and she doesn't do the other 3, but you don't have to. You only have to do on the first one. And I was like, thank you, Kristi, for doing this. Like, thank you for, I just want to give some acknowledgement to that to show how easy it is. I am so tired. I feel like it's not just beauty influencers. It is like every time I'm on Instagram anymore, I constantly am seeing people. It's so easy to disclose a sponsorship. And she just proved how easy it is. You know, I'm like, why is this so difficult? So thank you, Kristi, for doing that. I just want to acknowledge that. And I do like those mixed tiles a lot. And if you ever came out and addressed this and I felt like I could align myself with you, I probably would use your code to buy this because I do like this. But anyway, when I saw these things come out where she was talking about doing the Halloween looks again, and I know people sent it to me and they're like, 27 hours. Well, if you go back and you watch her first August video where she said she was going to do Vlogust, which is where she was going to try to post every day in August, she said in there that her Halloween looks took 12 hours to do and 12 hours, like, to film and do, and then 12 hours to edit. So that would be 24 hours to 27 hours. That's fair assessment, I think, right? I think that her saying 27 hours is probably pretty accurate. That would take a long time. Now, she hasn't posted in 11 days. I'm wondering if she has been filming these videos the last 11 days, getting prepared for October. That might be what she's doing. Now, I will say that in defense of her not posting every day in August, because I did make some rather snide comments before and be like, I mean, I post like almost, even the days that I don't post on my other channels, I always post in my vlog, or I try to at least. And if I don't, then I let people know what's going on. She hasn't posted in 11 days. On her August thing, I think she ended up posting like 10 days. But if you go back and you watch August 1st, she talks about the last time she posted every single day, or the first time that she did it was for October, and she did 31 days of looks. Well, okay, and the second time she did it was, I think she said some other time she was trying to get unstuck out of a rut, and so she's going to try to do it again. She said the time before she made it a couple days, and then she didn't last after that, which I thought was like self-awareness, and I like that. I like the self-awareness. That's the Kristi that I like. This is why it's so hard for me. And in this vlog video, she comes out and she says, I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, right? And she didn't make it. So, but she's very self-aware of that. Like, I'm going to do the best I can. She had a lot of good ideas. She's going to make bread and do all this kind of stuff, blah, 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 whatever. And so I'm looking at this, and I'm like, she says, and so I'm watching all this go down, and she's talking about these 31 days of October and, you know, doing these 31 looks in October and how much time it took and whatever. And I'm like, okay, something's going on with Kristi. She hasn't posted in 11 days, all right? But she's pretty active on her Instagram. And I was like, I thought she kind of said she was bored of makeup. So why would she go back and do these 31 days of October looks that are highly creative, take a lot of time and effort, if she's really not into makeup anymore, okay? So I went back today and I watched that first Vlogust video because I thought she said something there about not being that interested in makeup anymore. What she says is, she has all these different ideas for videos that she's going to do on her channel for the month of August, like making bread and showing her yard and things like that. But then she goes in there and she says, something like, we all like a good foundation. I'm just not as interested in it as I used to be. It's not the stuff that I'm not interested in anymore. Kristi came out several years ago and talked about how if you switch what you're doing on your channel, you're going to lose your audience because people are going to know, they know you for one thing. It's like if tomorrow I all of a sudden made this into a Boo Radley channel, a lot of people would stick around, but let's just be for real. I'd probably start getting maybe 300 views a video, okay, over time, because people would be like, no, I signed up for the drama. Kristi's always been aware of that. That if I steer away from the makeup, that I am going to, and this is where what I would do in a situation is different, but I think we all know I have 7 channels. This is where she knows if she steers away from the makeup, she's going to lose a lot of her audience. The problem is right now is that she's giving a lot of mixed responses. She's doing one where she's like, it's like a, you know, get ready with me makeup, and she just feels like doing a glam look for that day, and that's very much pandering to her makeup audience that she got her career over. And then she'll do a video where it's like, come clean out my closet with me, or let me cut my own hair. It's like she seems very lost to me, and part of it is because she never addressed these things, because I think she chose she didn't want to because she didn't know how to, okay? That's the first thing. I think she just doesn't seem that interested in YouTube anymore because the things that she wants to post, I think she's worried that not that many people are interested in, right? So now she's going back to, well, what's something that I can do that I enjoyed, but that I was, like, people really loved too. Now, when you ask anybody that likes Raw Beauty Kristi, what they'll say is, I loved her Halloween looks. People remember those Halloween looks like nobody's business. And it was a really fun time of watching Kristi. I think I watched, like, probably 20 out of those 31 videos, you know, when she did that. I loved those videos. They were so creative and they were so fun. So does it surprise me that she's going back to that? No, it doesn't surprise me at all if she does it. The fact that she's putting it out there means that she's like looking for something to do, because she's lost in her career right now on YouTube. Either because she's burnt out, she doesn't want to do it anymore, or the things that she wants to film, she doesn't think people are going to be interested in, right? And I'm like, okay, so you're going to go back to makeup, but you just said in your video on August that we all love a good foundation, but you're just not really that interested anymore. But now you're going to dedicate a month you're thinking possibly about dedicating a month to 27-hour-a-day videos? Or, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, there's only 24 hours a day, right? So 27 hours a look for 31 days. I mean, you would have to plan that out like 3 months in advance. And maybe that's where she's been. Maybe she's planning out these videos. I think it would be good for her channel. I think she would like that. Because when I went and I looked at her channel, her views are not good, you guys. I mean, people that are saying that she's not taking a hit for these scandals are just really not looking at what's going on. I mean, when you look at her videos, her last one was from 11 days ago. I mean, that's been up 11 days. So it's not like it came up yesterday. Let's be fair, right? DIY backyard wedding prep with chronic pain. LOL, which she's come out and talked about. LOL on there. 40,000 views. Answering your questions while I paint. That was a Jaclyn Hill video that she does like this Q&A with. 45, and she's painting like a picture in there. Beautiful picture. She's a good painter. 40, and she's a great artist. I mean, when I saw those pictures of things she was doing for a friend's daughter or son's birthday party of like where the wild things are, she's a fantastic artist. She's a fantastic artist. 45,000 views. That's from 2 weeks ago. 1 month ago, Holy SHI Toot, full face testing, e.l.f. Cosmetics, 98,000 views. WTF, why, testing melt. So she realizes that the makeup videos are the ones that are getting more views. Okay, cutting my own hair, 28,000 views. Doctor visit, craft store shopping, dirt biking in the mountains, 25,000 views. I mean, all these videos, get ready with me and chat, 30,000 views. Why you only watch dramatic negative videos and feel like SHI Toot, 26,000 views. Quiet morning homestead day in the life, 22,000 views. How to grow a clover lawn, fast results, 20,000 views. The easiest homemade sandwich bread recipe, 37,000 views. Freudian slip, I said homestead sandwich. I mean, she's not getting good views, but when you look before all this, okay? When you look before this all came out, like several months ago, 3 months ago, 95,000 views, 105,000 views, 68,000 views, 65,000 views, 107,000 views. Nobody cares about her hair because here's another one, 36,000 views of her styling her hair. 57, 79, 74. So she's lost a good 30 to 50 or 60,000 views per video, and I think it's directly related to her not coming out and addressing these things. I really think it has to do with that. So now she's lost, and she's like, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to come out with these October looks because so many people in my old audience, they really like those October looks. I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't. I think that the people that love Kristi and love those looks will come for that if she did it. I think even if she just did 10 looks or 5 looks, I don't think she has to be committed to doing 31 looks. I think it would really help her channel right now, but I don't think she has to do that. And I will say this, because I think that if she does 31 looks, there will be those people that will say she's doing this for financial gain. Yeah, it will help her money, but I don't think that's why she would do it. I don't think she would make a lot of money if she did 31 days of the October looks. Even if she didn't get great views, 31 days of consistent videos for Kristi would really financially, it would be a financial gain for her. She would, even if she was getting only 30,000 views of a video, that would be a lot of money that she'd be making off those videos. Plus, I think it would get people interested in her makeup again. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I don't think it's about the money. I don't think it has anything to do with the money. I think it has to do with people getting interested in her videos again, or her channel again, and she doesn't really know how to do that, so she's going back to something. It's like Shane Dawson doing the conspiracy videos, which I think that's smart as well, because people love Shane Dawson's conspiracy videos, so he's going back and he's doing his conspiracy videos, and his views have picked back up. So it's like Kristi's doing this, but this is the thing. She's not interested in the makeup anymore. She's even come out and said that. She's not as interested in it. She's like, we all like a good foundation. I'm just not as interested anymore. But she keeps on going back to it because I think she's trying to test out. If I make a loaf of bread or if I make, this, is one going to get me more views or not? I mean, I'll be honest with you. It doesn't really matter what I make a video about on my channel anymore. I get the same amount of views. I could literally sit here and I could talk about all my fans and I would probably get the same amount of views as I'm going to get on this video today talking about Kristi. I know that, okay? And that just means that the people that watch my videos don't really care about what I'm talking about. I'm aware of that. Do I think that probably 30% of that over time would wear off if they realized I wasn't going to talk about drama anymore? Absolutely. So that brings me to what I would do if I were Kristi, okay? She doesn't really have this interest in makeup anymore, but I think she wants to keep it going for this channel. What I would do is I would come up with a schedule for this channel, and I would say, I'm going to do 2 makeup looks a week. Okay, I'm going to come up with a schedule every Tuesday and every Friday. I'm going to post makeup looks. Tuesdays are going to be reviews and Fridays are going to be looks. Like, get ready with me and I'm going to do some kind of look. Because people like when she does looks, like the Halloween looks. She could extend that all the way through the year. She could do different looks, of different kinds of things. And then Tuesdays could be reviews of her favorite new products or reviews of e.l.f. makeup or whatever she sent. She could do 2 makeup videos a month. That's more than she's posting over there right now. She's already got The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi, which is her channel with her husband. It does okay. They post kind of regularly over there. I don't know. Let me see when the last time they have posted over there. I haven't even looked. Hold on a second. The Sweet Life. I haven't looked at that channel of Kristi. Where is it? Zach and Kristi. I haven't looked over there. I mean, it has been a long time. The channel has 147,000 views. And the last time they posted, 3 days ago, 9.2 thousand views. 1 month ago, solo ride at Walker Valley, 2,000 views. 9.8 thousand views. So she gets okay views over there for that size of a channel. It's not bad. If I were her, though, what I would do is, she is not interested that much in doing makeup anymore. So I would probably, and I have 7 channels, so I'm not scared of this, right? She says in there something in her August video about, something about, like, this is just life. I think I would start a channel, even though her channel is called The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi. I would start a channel, and I would announce it to my audience, and I'd say, big news, big announcement. And I would say, I'm going to start a channel, and I'm going to call it Just Life with Kristi. And I would put all of my homesteading stuff over there, the bread, the decorations, or whatever. And then I would keep all the makeup on Raw Beauty Kristi, you know, and I would do all that over there. Now, I know I'm bad about talking about TV shows on several different channels, and when I have a channel dedicated, I talk about it in my vlog, I talk about it over here, I talk about it everywhere. I know that, right? There's going to be some crossover on her channels. I get that, right? But I think where she has a channel dedicated to just doing all that kind of stuff, and then she just did makeup stuff on her Raw Beauty Kristi channel, I think that her views on her Raw Beauty Kristi channel would probably improve because people would know I'm coming over here just for the makeup. The people on her new channel, I don't think it would get 1 million views or 1 million subscribers. I don't even think it'd get 500,000, but she might get 60 to 100,000 people over there. And I think she would probably get better views than she's getting on her Sweet Life with Zach and Kristi if she consistently, and she probably would pick up new people that didn't really care about the makeup, but like that homesteading stuff. So she probably would pick up that audience as well, right? And then she'd have 3 channels and that she could post on regularly. And over there, people all the time are like, why don't you get, like, your Peterisms videos don't get any views. You get like 200-300 views a video over there. Why don't you give up that channel? Because that channel, I love that channel. I love just sitting down and talking about things that have gone on with my life, you know? People are like, your vlog, you spend 2 hours I love talking on my vlog, you know? It's not just about how we can get the views and how we get, sometimes it's just about the love of what you're doing. I can tell she really loves this stuff like making bread, making homemade vinegar, doing these decorations. She just started a channel where she's just doing that, and not just with her husband, but just where she's dedicated to that. And keep the makeup stuff over on Raw Beauty Kristi. She seems very, very lost to me. She's obviously not going to come out and address these situations, so she's just going to have to take the L for it. But if she's trying to reinvent the makeup on her Raw Beauty Kristi channel, then just keep it makeup over there. That's what I would suggest. Because when I go to people's channels and it's very confusing to me, I'm even confused about this on my own channel. Listen, I say this to people all the time. I can give everybody else suggestions and people like, thank you so much, that was great advice, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, no problem. I can see it for somebody else. I can't see it for me, right? If I do anything different on my channel, people are like, you talk about the same 5 or 6 people, and then I do a different video, and nobody watches it. And like, if I try different things, I think it confuses people. Because people are like, no, I came here for the drama. I actually came here for the 5 or 6 people, even though most people don't want to admit to that. If I do something else, people don't watch it, because people do want to hear me cover about the same 5 or 6 people. That's kind of the truth, in all honesty, right? And so, to step outside of that, I have to make a decision at some point. Am I going to just do those things? I'm at the point where I'm going to do what I want to do because I have fun with it, right? So if one day I want to do a Am I the Asshole video, and one day I want to cover something pop culture, and the next day I want to cover Raw Beauty Kristi, I'm going to do what I want to do over here. But she seems very lost because she's not posting at all on her channel, right? And so she seems lost about what to do. I think that would be a great move for her. I think she could probably get a lot of sponsorships that are more like lifestyle sponsorships over there, and, you know, she could do her problematic HelloFresh sponsorships over there, and then she could keep her beauty channel the same way. I think it would actually probably help her beauty channel, because I think she's losing subscribers that are not interested. I mean, like I said, she took a lot of backlash when she started talking about a lot of her being a mom and the issues with that and whatever, and the struggles that she was having. I am somebody that kind of like leans into that. I like to hear the personal life of the people that are talking. I love the world of those people. And I think a lot of you guys do too. But there's a lot of people that are like, I'm just here for the makeup. It's like people that come over to my channel and they're like, he doesn't get to the drama until 17 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, and I never will probably, right? So I think there's a lot of people out there that are like, I'm just here for the drama. I'm just here for the makeup. I'm just here for the review. I'm just here for that, right? And so I think, like, I'm somebody that's more into the life of the person. So when she was coming out and she was sharing all that kind of stuff, I leaned into it. I enjoyed that, you know? It's one of the reasons why I like her Get Readies with me and just talking about things. This is disappointing to me that she won't come out and address this, and you're 100% right for those people that want to defend her. She doesn't have to, right? She doesn't have to. She doesn't owe that to anybody. Just like I don't owe it to anybody. Just like you don't owe it to anybody, okay? She has to make her own choices. But if she seems lost to me, and if she's not going to come out and address it, then what I think she should do is keep her makeup on her makeup channel, and then she should start another channel where she just does all the bread making, vanilla making, homesteading stuff over there, you know, and cut her losses and start anew and say, okay, I'm starting fresh, and I'm going to start doing 2 looks a week over on here on my makeup channel. I mean, it is a job. At the end of the day, whether you're on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, I mean, I met some of YouTubers that have spreadsheets about the videos they're making, and I don't work that way, but I mean, I keep a list of what videos I'm making for the next day, but I don't keep no spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But to come up and say, I'm going to do 2 makeup looks a week, okay, and then maybe 3 videos on my channel, she would make more money than she's making now, you know, and I mean, she's doing all this stuff anyway. For me, it's missed opportunities because she's like, the fact that she's uploading on her Instagram things about, like, I think she should do a whole video talking about my favorite looks from Halloween. Should I come back and do the Halloween looks? Like, she would have got 30,000 views off that video. That's a missed opportunity to me, right? She should have posted herself with all of her looks behind her and been like, should I come back to do the Halloween looks again? The return of Robbie Kristi, you know? That was a missed opportunity. When she's showing herself making homemade vanilla, film 10 minutes of that. Post that up there, girl. That's a missed opportunity. You can be throwing that up on your new channel. You know, all these decorations, all this shit you do around your house, those are missed opportunities. People want to see that stuff. People love you, Kristi. There are a lot of people that are frustrated with you because you won't come out and address these situations, all right? I'm frustrated with that. But there's a lot of people that have stood by you, that defend you. They defend you in my videos. So I know they're watching your videos. They probably would love anything that you put out there. The fact that you go 11 days to 2 weeks without posting anything, for those people out there that are diehard fans that will probably consider you a friend of theirs and will defend you at any expense, they would love if you would post a video, even if it's just you standing in the kitchen talking about something, you know? I don't know, but for me, I probably keep the makeup on one side. I think it's interesting that she's deciding to come back with these looks, but it's October 1st. Has she posted the video yet? I mean, she's going to do the 21 days of, here she is, Robbie Kristi. If she's going to do the 31 days of Halloween, you'd think she would post the video today. Watch, it'll probably come up as I'm posting this video. Nope. Same video, DIY backyard wedding prep. I don't know. I like those videos of hers. Now, if she does them, I won't be watching them this year unless somebody says she said something to them and I need to watch. But I don't think it's a bad idea for her channel. I think she seems lost right now, and I think she seems lost because she's got a lot of stuff going on, I think, emotionally and mentally. I hope that she's taking care of herself, and I hope that she's getting the appropriate care and support. I really do. I don't wish that on another human being. I also think that the stress of these scandals, she doesn't really know how to deal with that stuff either. Kristi's somebody that doesn't really know how to deal with that kind of stuff, even though she's been on YouTube for a long time, so she kind of pulls back. I think that's why she's reached out to me. I know that she's reached out to other people as well in the past. So, you know, I think she's kind of like lost right now, and that's why I'm trying not to be super sarcastic in this video today and just giving some authentic advice, you know? So that's what I would do. I'm not demanding it. I'm not telling her she has to do it. But part of the reason, I think part of the reason is the scandals, but I think part of the reason is people are looking and they're like, I signed up for makeup and every video over here is something different. She said several years ago she was afraid that was going to split her audience. It's splitting her audience. And so if she just keeps it makeup over there, the people that just watch Kristi for makeup will stay. She won't lose them. Take the other stuff to a new channel. That new channel might only get 20 or 30,000 subscribers, but there are people out there with 20 or 30,000 subscribers that are doing fantastic on YouTube. And you can build your channel over time. Just because you have 20,000 or 10,000 or 5,000 subscribers doesn't mean that you're any less of a YouTuber than somebody else. There's a lot of people that have 5,000 subscribers that I watch on the daily, and there's a lot that have 10 million or 20 million that I have never watched, you know? So anyway, let me know what you think about all that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.